Hello, my humans. Okay, one of the things I also wanted to show you today, because you asked for knowledge. Books. No, I have not read all of these. And this is actually just a small fraction of all the ones that I have on my book list and the ones that I have on my phone with audio versions and digital versions. My point that I want to make today is when it comes to knowledge, it is so important to have an understanding of a wide breadth of knowledge. Don't just stick to one thing. Educate yourself on all kinds of subjects: science, humanities, philosophy, math, spirituality, all the things. So we're going to go through some of these. And I'm also a big fan of going into the taboo, because a lot of energy is released when we go into our darkness and we find what is lurking there. And what society has deemed taboo, actually, I have found, typically, not that I have found all things, not that I have investigated all the taboo things, but what I have found is that some taboo things actually hold a lot of potential energy for us as humans. And that potential energy is so great that it is feared, and that is one of the reasons why it was tabooed back whenever it was. So I have a whole bookshelf devoted to relationships and sexuality. I have books such as a lot of womanly art books, Illuminated Tantra, Tao Tantric Arts for Women, Women Who Run with the Wolves. I also was really curious about understanding men at a deeper level, which I will make a whole nother video about. The number one person I think everyone should be studying to learn about relationships, to learn about yourself as a woman, to understand about yourself as a man, to understand how men and women actually can create a brilliant world for both of us to live in and become our greatest version. That woman I will make a separate video about. However, I do have books that I think are fantastic in this world where we as the different sexes are not getting along and we do not see each other for what we are, and there's a lot of shaming and blaming and victimhood going on. I highly recommend you actually educate yourself on what you are as a man or what you are as a woman and what the other sex is. I'm a woman, so I've spent a lot of time studying men, studying who men are at the biological level and the spiritual level, what potential they hold, both as animals and as human beings, as divine, as kings. And then I also, of course, have been studying myself as a woman. What is it to be a woman? What actually is it to be a girl versus a woman, a princess versus a queen? What is that arc like? And how do I actually not just understand these concepts, but then also embody them and become them, which books won't help you with embodiment, practices do. However, get the knowledge, get the body, bada bing, bada boom, you'll have a really fantastic transformation, which I'm also a big fan of. So I also have Men Don't Love Women Like You, which is a fantastic book if you're a woman, because so many women, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but men are, if you think men are not enough or immature or not men, blah blah blah, men or boys, whatever judgments you have towards men, you probably have them because of something about you. And that it's just, here on this channel, I'm going to give you the truth even when it hurts, okay? There is no victimhood in this world. To be a victim is a choice. Now, there are some crimes that can be committed towards someone else. Don't take what I'm saying out of context. Like, for example, if someone comes and robs your house, you are a victim of a robbery. But when it comes to things that happen to you in your life, like, for example, I can't find a date. Well, you're not a victim to men not wanting to date you. There's something about you that men don't want to date you for. Same if you're a man. You're not a victim to women not being interested in you. There's something about you that makes women not interested in you. So you need to study about yourself as a woman or a man. First, master yourself, and then discover the other. So I love this book, Women Don't Love Women, or Men Don't Love Women Like You, because it's a big wake-up call. It's the brutal truth that we men refuse to tell you that is that you don't want to hear. And I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I recommend this book if you are a woman. And for men, I recommend The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. This is fantastic. David Deida stuff is really good. Really, really good. I also recommend Esther Perel. She's also fantastic. If you want to learn about the shadow side of the masculine, we have The Game by Neil Strauss. This is the Secrets of the Pickup Artist. Not that I want to become a master in this, I just wanted to be aware and understand darkness and understand shadow and understand, because this does exist in the world. And there's also The Rational Male. I actually had my dad read this. I wanted to read it with him, and he said that he couldn't get through it because he couldn't stomach it. But this is like a book of logic, basically. It's again, I think it's really important for us to not just read what we like, not just to read the sunny side up, easy things to digest. To be a powerful person, you need to understand both light and dark. You need to understand the other side of the coin. You need to understand the good and the other side of the coin. You need to understand the good and the evil. You need to understand the evil and the good. This is like 101. This is basic stuff. Okay. And then I also have for spirituality. This video is already 7 minutes long. This book is phenomenal. This is called The Last Barrier. It is by Rashad Field. This book changed my life. This book is it's a dervish pilgrimage in Turkey that reads like a good mystery. That's one of the things. So this guy, he's from England. He goes to Turkey to take a journey through Sufi teachings, and Sufism is the mystical branch of Islam. It is fantastic. It really made a mark on me about how I as a soul interact with the universe and my connection with God and all these kinds of things. There's also the 40 Rules of Love. This is another, I'm a big Sufism fan, so this is the Whirling Dervish. If you love romance, if you love truth, if you love just like the pain of life as well as the love of life, like the nectar of life as well as the pain of life, this is a fantastic book. It is a fictional, somewhat based on history book about the story of Rumi. If you don't know Rumi, you are out of the loop. You gotta Google that. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. This book is fantastic. If you don't know, you better Google it right now and just read it, because this video is already really long. But this guy was in the concentration camps during World War II, and this is a whole book about mindset and about the power of the mind and how your strength is really sourced from within, and it is all based on what you believe. I have like so many things underlined and highlighted. You can look up the famous quotes from that book, and that will also give you a great understanding of what the book is about. Let's see. And then I also have something called Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins. This is fantastic as well. It gives you the map of human consciousness, how we, here it is, found it, map of consciousness, the emotion, the process, the God view, life view. So like shame is the densest, lowest frequency that human beings can experience, whereas enlightenment is the highest. And this is a map of how do you navigate up and down this spectrum, and what is the process like. So shame is about elimination, guilt is destruction, apathy is abdication, so on and so forth. And actually there's more developed maps of consciousness online now. If you were to Google Map of Consciousness by David R. Hawkins, you'll find more developed maps online. There is also, I also have The Medical Medium, books about health and like really how to hack your health and understanding your body, understanding food, understanding nutrition. It's not enough to just give all of your power to a doctor anymore. Like doctors, they are great for emergency cases. If you get into an accident, I definitely want a doctor. But as far as like taking care of your body, you need to know these things. You need to know about gut issues. You need to know about what's in food. You need to know ingredients. You need to know basic macronutrients and how they interact with the body and how to manipulate them to build your body or to do different things. You need to know about these things. You can't just give all your power to your doctor and expect him to do everything for you. You need to be aware. You need to be educated. The other thing I will say is be also educated about like energy. This is a fantastic book called The Grid. It is all about the United States electrical grid system and how our grid is so old and we're kind of in trouble if we don't fix it. We also have Windfall by Megan O'Sullivan. This is a fantastic book. This is how the new energy abundance appends global politics and strengthens America's power. If you are not aware of the world stage and how energy influences the world stage and how really the balance of power between countries is really the balance of power of energy. Who has energy, who doesn't have energy? Who has resources and who doesn't have resources? Then you're really like, we have the power to vote here in the United States, and you need to be educated and actually exercise this ability with integrity. It's such a gift, the power to vote. And so be aware, be informed, read a book. Don't just watch the news. Okay, this is already 12 minutes. Holy smokes, I have so much I want to share. Yeah, so you can see I have a bit of everything. I also have up there in the corner Fingerprints of the Gods by Graham Hancock. Understanding where we came from as humans, what's our history, who are we as a species, like where did we actually, what's our story? Finding the truth of what we are as beings. What is our story in this world? How did we evolve? How did we become? Who were we in the past? Who were we 10,000 years ago? Understanding your history, your ancestry, your heritage, just for the species is very empowering because you feel connected to something greater than yourself and you realize how far we have come as organisms. And there's so many more, but this is 12 minutes now, so I'm gonna go. And thank you for watching and see you soon.